Blazing Hit Radio.
Good morning, you guys.
Now with more Us.
You rock.
Better music, less commercials, more Larry and Kathie.
I just love you both.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Yesterday, after the show, Bolty and I went to get us some food. Mm-hmm. And we went to this really cool little mom and pop Mexican restaurant called Taco Bell. And so
yes.
I've
been there.
Yeah, we pull up and the girl at the window is like, I'm going to take your order. And so we're like, okay. And then I go, can I get 2 bean burritos? Oh, we're only serving breakfast. So I was like, okay.
Some people have bean burritos for breakfast.
Right. And so then I go, I got Kathie a breakfast burrito. I was like, a breakfast burrito, no meat. Okay. And she's like, I go, there's no meat in that, right? No sausage, no bacon. No, that's just eggs and beans and potatoes. And I go, so you have the beans. She's like, what? And I was like, the beans are there. They're made.
Right.
And I was like, so you can't make a bean burrito? She's like, what else do you want? And then he...
No way! She didn't even
she kind of just brushed over it.
Okay.
So then producer Bolty orders his thing.
Yeah.
And then...
What did you get? Some with beans in
A
it?
crunch wrap. No.
Okay.
So then I go, so you can't make bean burritos? And she's like, do you want me to ask? I was like, sure. Can you? And she's like... And then she was gone for a minute.
Oh, my God.
And then she came back half a second. She's like, Abuela, hold on. And then she came back and she's like, I guess we can. And I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I'll have 2 bean burritos. And then, so I was like, and a medium.
They spit in your burrito.
No, she's too dumb to spit in anything.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
We weren't giving them a hard time.
Okay,
she was
okay.
just stupid.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden I go, and add just a medium Pepsi because he already got a soda. She goes, you want another Pepsi? And I was like, I didn't order a Pepsi yet. I was like, that would
He
be
ordered a
the
Pepsi.
first Pepsi. I was like, because he already got a Mountain Dew. And she's like, so you want another Pepsi? I was like, he's getting a Mountain Dew. I want one Pepsi. And she's like, and then it popped up on the screen. And before she could even say, your total will be, I was like, I'll see you at the window, bitch. I got to see how stupid you are.
And what are we dealing with when you saw her? What does she look like?
Slow moving.
Like this girl that talks like this.
Okay,
Yeah.
fat or thin?
Thin.
21?
Young.
Younger.
Yeah, but you could tell that, like, first job.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to say, I remember my first job.
For bad eye makeup?
I don't know. It was
Okay,
glasses.
or no makeup.
Right.
Yeah. Little
Okay.
nerd.
Right. Regardless, it was like we actually got the order and it was right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then that's impressive.
I was like,
That's
I don't know,
good.
that never happens.
And there wasn't anything weird in your burrito.
That we know
No,
of. We didn't
you're the
see
one
it.
that's paranoid. You used to smoke less pot. So are you sure they didn't fit in it? I said they licked my bun.
I never want to cause issues. I was at Arby's the other night after I left your house on Saturday. Gianna started coughing, so I needed to get her something to drink really fast, and Arby's is right there off of Peoria.
Okay.
So we pull in, I know, for a bottle of water.
Oh.
There was no one there. There was no one in the parking lot. There was nobody in the restaurant. There was no one there. I waited to order at least 4 minutes before he came on. Like, he came on and said, can you hang on? And I let him. And it was like another 4 minutes. Again, nobody's in front of me at the drive-thru. There's nobody in the parking lot.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. So then I get up to the window, and it took like another 5 minutes. And all I got was 2 little kids' meals with ham sandwiches, not roast beef. Because I was like, well, maybe they had to drop the fry. I don't know. But I was like, and I didn't want to say anything because they would have spit in the food.
No, they don't
would have
do that.
dropped the
The only
sandwich
people that
on
spit-
the floor and kicked it, and then they pick it up and then they rewrap it. I just don't want to cause any problems.
No, I know what you're saying because like the thing is you don't want to be the person that's rude because I think if you're at a restaurant and you're like this is wrong and you give them attitude or something.
No, rude is, but sometimes even, I mean, what I did could be considered rude.
No
what?
way.
Just ordering
So
something?
you don't have bean burritos? He just ordered something with beans. Like, I might piss somebody off.
Well, so then I don't know. I'm willing to take more of a chance at it than you
No,
are.
you totally are. I'm a puss.
Okay.
Well, what?
But I mean, like, no, I think, like I said, if you're super rude, then you probably should expect something.
you should.
Or if you're a cop.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh, don't.
No, I'm saying, remember, we've had tons of stories where cops were like,
Yeah,
somebody
I get
spit in this.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're like spitting in somebody's food that actually has a lab where they can find your saliva in it.
Yes, right. Like that
Right.
one cop did.
Right? They will get you. So we were talking yesterday. We touched a little bit on the fact that Craigslist, they were closing down their personals ads. So no more men seeking men, women seeking men, all of that. Personals, the casual encounters, no more misconnections. So we next are going to talk about, we got some response on that.
Okay.
And then I know you said you had some thoughts on it because we were talking about the fact that I knew somebody personally who placed an ad on it, and it was just like an open door situation.
So I literally. So I was just playing out the logistics and wanted to go over it one more time.
Blazing Hit Radio.
Better music,
Less commercials.
more Larry and Kathie.
If you met somebody through Craigslist and you have a cool romantic story, well, that's all it is now, because nobody else will be able to find their special someone on Craigslist, even if that special someone is only for 5 minutes.
Yes.
You're going to have to just stick to your apps.
I'm so sorry.
Right. But yeah, it was a thing. I remember like it was actually bumping on Friday and Saturday nights.
What do you, what was?
Craigslist. Like you
No
could go.
way.
I mean, didn't you ever go on there just for fun to see what the ads looked like? We'd go on there all the time just to be like, look, that trans person wants to meet somebody and they're willing to show pictures of themselves naked.
If someone showed it to me, I'd look at it, but it was never something where I was like, it's a Friday night. Let's see what the pervs of Denver are up to.
Exactly. And then you're like,
that never crossed my mind.
and then you see one ad and you're like, bookmark.
Oh, yes.
But
Because they don't have pictures with them, right?
Yeah, they do.
They do? I thought it was just like written like an
No,
like an ad.
Tons of pictures. Some people won't even move forward without seeing the people's pictures. But then the other thing is, some people could obviously put fake pictures or whatever, but then
you have to
just
still
Google
have-
image those.
It's got to be like a PG kind of picture.
No,
It's Craigslist. It's like for the public. You can't be putting
it's all
X-rated
adult
pictures up there.
Okay, she keeps fighting with me when I already know how it works. Yes, there's tons of naked pictures. Just digest that.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah, so there's like all kinds of just naughtiness going on there, but not anymore. And I had a friend. No, I don't even want to say he was a friend. It's a guy we worked with. And he was, like placing ads on there and spilling the tea and being like, so open with it. It would be like literally front doors open. I'll be face down.
Okay, so this is where my mind started just going crazy yesterday. So going home with a stranger from the club that you've met, there's usually some sort of like personal attraction with that person. You guys are on a good vibe. That's why you're willing to take the risk on a stranger for the night.
Yeah, but everybody's different. So
I know.
I know.
But
So I'm about to explain it to you.
The Craigslist thing, like you're taking a real risk with the stranger, especially if your head's already down. You're not even like bothering to look up and see what's walking in your front door.
I know. So that's what some people are into. So it's like, obviously, like a more regular person's going to go to the club to try to meet somebody. But if you're on an app or you're on some sort of personals ad, you definitely can get more into your thing, I guess. And so therefore you can, that's why you're on there. Your whole thing is the mystery of who's going to come in the door, and maybe it will be dangerous, or maybe nobody will show up, or, maybe.
But your friend said he had a lot of people show up, right?
I think like a couple people. It was our coworker. I don't try to put this all on me. He worked with us.
It was that one guy.
Right.
Okay.
So he would just, just whoever showed up.
And you know what? I always thought he wasn't that bad looking, like the type of person that would need to do something like that.
Therefore, my whole point is that's what they're into. The whole naughtiness factor, the danger. Like there's guys that are like, that will go to a rest stop and like like those guys that were arrested in Something About Mary. That's their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's their thrill.
Right. Okay, so what else would people put on the ads? You obviously had to be 18, like click on a box to get into those ads.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I just keep thinking somebody's going through the Denver Post and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God. Like,
No.
Just kind of like that. I went there to look for furniture.
Yeah, but then you're not going to see these because you clicked on furniture.
Yeah.
Now, if all of a sudden
dogs for sale,
I know, but if you found your way to women seeking women,
yeah,
then now you're entering into this whole
because
other
I'm
world.
not a prude. I just want to put that out there. Like I've had a lot of good one night stands.
Okay, now that didn't sound right.
Yeah.
With a lot of guys.
Good for you or for
like,
Hold on, I'm
one
making
of every color and flavor. I mean, come on. No, I'm
This already
kidding.
sounds like a Craigslist ad.
Yeah, exactly. Write
no.
it down.
Maybe.
No. So it's like, I mean,
So
like,
I'm just saying it to me that, I mean.
it's no longer going to be happening. Is the whole point.
Yeah.
And there's no more ads, but there's like
I need to pull one up right
publications like the Rocky Mountain Oyster, which they still make, I think, which is like old school, like newspaper version of that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So there still are ways for freaks to meet.
Right.
And I'm sure there's more apps besides Grindr and
Oh yeah, there's more
Tinder.
extreme.
right.
Yeah,
like-
which one's Bolty? Which ones do you go to?
I don't know. I don't need that.
Can you do, I mean, I know you can do a one night stand stranger, but could you ever, sight unseen, you have like, I put a blindfold on, you walk in the door, let's do this.
Nah.
You could you, Larry?
No,
Scared.
hell no.
No.
No. I think every woman should now, since it's all about apps, and to see if your husband is cool, drag him to a gay bar, and if his phone starts going, yeah, something's up.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say about me.
And now,
I go dumb, I go stupid, I get crazy.
it's Kathie J's Stupid News.
Drunk driver thought a Lowe's coupon was obviously his driver's license and then tried to bribe the cop with sexual favors.
He's all, well, officer, my last name is Lowe's. I'm a
Right.
owner of the Lowe's hardware store. And speaking of hard, look at this.
Right, right. See, I was gonna say I could get low.
Right,
but
there
I
you
guess,
go.
But you went right for the
Yeah.
right
When they go high, we
below.
go low.
26-year-old. No,
When we go
low,
high, when they go low, we get
go-
high.
26-year-old Peter. Oh, Peter was driving drunk last Wednesday night, and he got pulled over for speeding down in Florida, somewhere in the suburbs of Orlando. When cops asked for his license, he was like, "Gladly, officer." 10% coupon to Lowe's.
He's all, I should take care of everything. You have a good day.
He eventually admitted he'd been drinking Crown and Cokes at the local Chili's and couldn't remember how many he'd had. Well, you don't
He's
want
all-
to get anybody in trouble.
He's like, I've had so many that I could do stuff with a man right now.
Wink, wink. Then during the sobriety test, he tried to count to 50, skipped around a little bit, made it to 27, then started blurting out 36, and then went to 43. And to top it all off, this is where the sexual favors came in. He tried to bribe the cop on his way to jail. He asked the cop, "Look, I could give you a handy."
That's not how one
reach
gets
through
out of an
here.
arrest.
No.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, you
that's
got to
not-
go full blown.
He-
I mean, you know.
Literally.
yeah, that's right. That's what yeah, full blown.
Right.
The cop declined the offer. DUI charges. Larry, what do you think?
No, I mean, like, you know.
Would you have taken the handy?
Well, you'd have to, like, have
Now that
a
you've seen
gay or
him.
bi officer. So if the guy's straight, you know, probably not going to happen.
Yeah, because he's not that good looking.
Right, no,
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
Like, sometimes I guess you could look the other way if he was really pretty.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Don't you look me in my eyes.
Right. You're all, do you mind if we get a selfie so I can brag about you later?
A lady attacks her ex-best friend's new best friend at a PTA meeting and gets into a shout out with the cops.
Oh, wow. Ex-best friend fights.
Yeah, so, 41-year-old, really? We're fighting at this old in their
At
lives.
41, it's like, you're my best friend.
What are you doing talking to her, Becky?
Right.
So, a 41-year-old lady named Lori lives in Staten Island. Recently, she had a falling out with her best friend. Well, Lori's ex-best friend, you know what I heard.
Right.
Okay.
So I heard.
Lori's ex-best friend went out and got herself a new best friend. And apparently, it made Lori very jealous, and Lori doesn't handle that very well, so she got furious.
It's funny when you're like young and you do have best friends, and like there can be situations where you're not like, you know, romantically involved with a friend, but you do get jealous.
Yes.
So you're just like, don't be
Right.
their best friend, be my best friend.
Why are you
Yeah.
going with them?
Right.
Oh, going
Right.
to that restaurant we always
Right.
talked about going to. That's nice.
Right.
So when all three ladies were at a PTA meeting at their kids' Catholic school,
What a great example.
Lori ran up to her ex-best friend's new best friend. So I guess it's like the new mistress, the
I
new
guess she's
wife.
like, you're not going to be liking her very much. She doesn't like fat people.
Lori went a little crazy. She started choking out the new best friend.
See, you're supposed to choke out your best friend.
Yes,
That's
right.
where the fight is. That's when the mistress goes for the other chick.
Exactly. That's
Right,
why
the
you
wife goes for the
Go
mistress.
after the man, not the mistress. Go
Exactly.
after your ex-best friend, not her new best friend.
Well, especially because sometimes the mistress doesn't even know they're the mistress.
True, right.
Because, he didn't tell me he had a wife.
Nope,
and then
didn't.
this chick's like, she didn't tell me she had a best friend.
The less than 24 hours later, I'm sorry. So cops came and arrested her there. Okay. So less than 24 hours later, Lori went to her ex-best friend's house because this was not over. And instead of just wanting to talk to her,
Let's fight, bitch.
she threw a brick through the window and went inside with a gun.
Damn, that's some like severely best friend. That's like some hardcore best friend stuff.
Right. Like, my God.
Right.
They're all
It's like-
followers of Jesus.
Right.
Right. So it was a starter pistol that only fires blanks, but still, it's a
It's
gun.
the whole, yeah, it's the look of it. It's, yeah, wow.
Okay, so
Oh,
cops
yeah,
came.
she's all, on your mark, get set, break my heart.
Oh, that was funny. I wish people could have seen you
When I put
act
my
that
gun
out.
up.
That was adorable. Yeah, okay, so less than 24 hours later, she goes to the house. Cops came, and they say that Lori was dumb enough to point the gun at them.
Idiot.
So they fired 5 shots
Damn.
and hit her in the shoulder. She's lucky.
Yeah.
She's lucky that they, yeah.
And then when she came to the hospital, she's like, is my best friend here?
Right?
Are
And
those
she called-
flowers from my
And she called.
Who brought that stuffed monkey? Was it my best friend? No, ma'am, we haven't seen your best friend. I don't think she's your best friend anymore.
There's the picture of crazy Lori, like,
When
cute.
you can take the girl out of high school, but you can't take the high school out of the girl.
No lie. Okay, and finally, are those flowers for my best?
Nope, she didn't stop by. It's day 3. She's not coming.
Okay, finally, guy tells the lady, I've been poisoned. I'm going to die unless you have sex with me.
Oh, he's like, I'm not having sex with a poisoned lady.
Let's say a prayer.
Oh, but a poisoned guy is okay to have sex with?
Well, it depends. Did you swallow the poison how long ago?
Well, she was an idiot. She believed him and had sex with him.
Okay. He's all, oh, now the poison's in you. Goodbye.
Right.
He's all, don't forget, get all the poison. There you go.
Yeah.
24-year-old guy in New Zealand went to a lady's house in September, told her he'd been attacked and forced to drink evil poison.
He's all, the only way it'll get out of me is down there by my kiwis because I'm a kiwi.
He said the only way he could survive was if he sweated it out.
Oh, so I got to really work this.
Yeah,
I got to
really
really
work
hump
that.
you good.
And he just so happened to have an email from the people who poisoned him saying the woman would have to have sex with him repeatedly to save him.
He's all, look, it's right on my computer.
Look, it's an official email. It's right there. Look at that. She believed him. He must have been good looking. Come on.
Right, or she really is dumb.
She believed him. They had relations, and then the emails kept coming for the next few months.
He's all, you might want to wash those sheets. They're filled with poison.
He's like, do you believe this? I got another email. We have to have sex again.
I thank God I haven't gotten the poison.
But then the emails kept coming for the next few months telling her she needed to keep having sex with him or these mysterious people would come and attack her and her family.
He's all, we'll really get your family good if you don't give him you know what.
But then she started noticing some stuff about the emails. Really? Like
Really?
months later?
Now you're doing your research after you've been poison humped 8 times?
Yes. The emails had lots of spelling mistakes. They referred to the guy using a nickname that he only used for himself.
Mm-hmm.
And 3, he was really the only person benefiting from the sex. Are you kidding me?
She's
you
not even getting an
idiot?
orgasm, you idiot.
When she confronted him in January, so it started in September, and she didn't confront him until January. He grabbed her arm, twisted it behind her back, and knocked her over. She went to the
He's all,
cops.
are you trying to get us killed?
Right? Get on the bed.
Right.
She went to the cops. The guy got arrested and charged with sexual connections induced by threat and assault.
And she
He's
should be-
on trial, and he admitted he was the one that sent the emails, set the whole scam up.
She should be charged with stupidity.
Amen. Amen.
Ugh.
Blazing Hit Radio.
Better music,
Less commercials.
more Larry and Kathy.
All right, so let's say you go to the store and you're like at, like, say, Target.
Okay, I love Target.
Yeah, I love Target.
I don't get to go enough, but I love it.
So you're hanging out and you're walking down the aisle and you look over and there is Beyonce.
In
With
Target.
With little Blue Ivy and a couple bodyguards and an assistant.
Like she's about to perform?
No, she's just shopping and hanging out in Target.
I would die.
What do you do? Like, honestly, what do you do? Like, do you do you kind of casually kind of walk like everybody else is?
Yes,
and
I
start
have to get something in this aisle.
Right.
When she's in some aisle, like, I don't know, I wouldn't even know.
Right.
I vitamins, I don't know. And I'd be like, yes, if I don't get my glucosamine.
Well, what's funny is, you know that her bodyguards are probably supposed to keep people away from her, but
Yes.
I mean, that doesn't mean that you can't, go behind you and hold your phone up and go, look who's behind me.
At the end of the aisle.
Right,
exactly.
For sure. And that's what people were doing, definitely.
Right, but Beyonce's doing a good job of not even paying attention to the fact that people are freaking out.
Right. And then, if you had a kid, that's your best shot at meeting her, because if your kid runs past you.
Right.
To go
Okay,
meet,
back here, Avery.
Oh, no. Right. And she's
Yeah.
like, hi, Beyonce. Beyonce's going to be nice.
Totally. Hopefully, Avery would recognize her.
Right. Or
Avery would run past her.
Or Beyonce's all, no, not little white girls. I only meet black girls. Bam. No.
I would have sent Avery in to play with Blue. That's how you get in.
And
right,
Blue's
'cause
like her
now-
mom. She's all, bam.
Oh.
Only little black girls. No. But I posted this on Facebook to ask people what they would do.
Yeah, if they saw Beyonce in Target.
Right. And some people were trying to play it really cool, like, oh, I would just go about my shopping.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
You would freak out.
Exactly. And you would also definitely try to get like a picture.
Absolutely. You would figure out some way to do it.
Right. Some people were like, I would definitely just faint. Some people were like, finish shopping. Some people were like, how do you not recognize Queen Bey?
Exactly.
Before and after the tears, what would I do? I'd put all my stuff in her basket.
Oh, no lie. No lie.
Can you get this?
Yeah, for both?
Right. Somebody said they would smile. Somebody said they'd keep shopping. Somebody put a meme of a Lady Gaga and her dancing in Telephone. Some people say, I would let her shop. Some said they would stalk her all the way to the parking lot live on Snapchat.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Right.
I could see that for sure.
Right.
I would try to like post up and like, oh my God, okay, so she's going to eventually come into this aisle.
Right.
And I'm stuck. I'm just deciding on what shower curtain to choose.
She's all, I don't need hemorrhoid cream.
I know.
Excuse me.
I'm trying to think of something.
You need to go to the toy aisle where
yeah,
Blue
Blue
Ivy's
Ivy
gonna
would
look.
eventually get there.
Ernest says, who cares?
Oh, you're so cool.
Yeah, too cool for the room.
Right.
Leah says, I wouldn't even try to bug her. I hate paparazzi ass people. Sometimes they just want to be left alone. Let her shop. Maybe she'll wave at you.
No, Leah. No.
Take a picture from a long distance. Brittany says, be acting like, what are they acting like? Old boy Selena? And then when I see her, I'd be like, anything for Beyonce.
Right.
Anything for Selena's.
I get the fascination of wanting to go to Target.
Right.
Like the Beyonce's like,
To be a normal person.
Remember Michelle Obama snuck out of the White House and wanted to go be a normal person, and Target is like the best place to go get lost in.
The best was when Michelle and Obama went with Ellen to like a Rite Aid, and they were just walking around.
They were?
Oh yeah, and then she was like trying to teach her about normal things, and they opened a box of wine, and there was a bunch of ladies that were standing around. And they were pouring glasses out of the box of wine, and Michelle's like, "You didn't pay for this," and then so like they got all this stuff, and they were just having the best time, and then they went to pay for it, and Ellen goes, I don't have any money. And so Michelle Obama's like, really? And so she made Michelle Obama pay for everything. It was hilarious.
Okay, no, wait. Now, Michelle Obama was the one that hadn't. I mean, you think?
Well, I mean,
you think that she would not? Like Ellen would be the one that would know how to shop in the Rite Aid.
well, she was
She's
just
been
making
more
fun of the
famous
fact
longer.
that, yeah, but I mean, she's the first lady, so like
Okay.
first ladies don't do things for themselves or whatever.
right?
Yeah.
Right, and didn't know the prices on things. And then it's funny because Ellen actually did the same thing to Kris Jenner, but she just put an earpiece in, so she wasn't with Kris Jenner.
Okay, how
so
did
she
that
made
go?
Kris Jenner go into like the dollar store and make an idiot of herself, and was like eating stuff and trying things on. It was
It
hilarious.
still wasn't as cool as Adele.
Yeah, no,
Right,
Adele
Adele
was the best.
right.
When Adele went to Jamba Juice,
She pulled scissors out and just started eating
cutting the wheatgrass, and she's like, "Now eat the wheatgrass." And Adele did everything Ellen asked her to do.
Okay, so wait, the Kris Jenner thing, did it make it endearing? Did it make her like endearing to you, or?
Well, I mean,
did
she
still
didn't
come
need to.
across
I
as-
like Kris Kardashian.
Kris Jenner.
Whatever. Yeah. She
Four
changed her,
sisters.
She
She went
changed her name back to Kardashian.
She did not.
Yeah, she did. Why would she keep it Jenner?
Yeah, I guess that.
Right.
Because her daughters are Jenner, so you'd want to like hang in there with them.
They're all, which mother's name do you want?
Yeah.
Caitlyn or me?
True.
And it's funny, too, because the girls still called Caitlyn Dad. They're like, hey, what's up, Dad?
Yeah, right.
So, hey! You know it bugs him. I can't they call me mom? I look like a mom.
Blazing Hit Radio.
Now with more
us.
They're just really funny.
Better music,
less commercials.
more Larry and Kathie.
By the way, it's not supposed to snow anymore. It's just supposed to be like fair to partly cloudy, and then the sun will come out and hopefully melt what's out there, but it's not really affecting the roads. It's just wet.
Right.
It's funny, too, because it's like everything looked like winter when you first got up. It looked like a Christmas card postcard.
It was beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
But get out. We're done with it.
Move it. Well, I was happy because last night it started, like at 9 o'clock?
Right.
I was like, oh, good. This will be done by the morning.
Well, and then in Stapleton, of course, we like everything real white. In honor of Stapleton.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I wouldn't have known that the Stapleton was named after a KKK dude unless all these people are coming out and saying it.
Right. But it's like, because, yeah, it was like, I guess, back in the day, there were a lot of racist people, and they were like all in the Klan, and it was like an acceptable group. It was almost like the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Right. And so I guess way back in the day, that guy was, and then eventually he was in politics, and then they're like, hey, let's name the airport after him, right?
Yeah, well, he was pretty big in the community. So Benjamin Stapleton was his name. And this all stems because last night there was a huge meeting in Stapleton where residents are trying to get the Stapleton name completely wiped out, call it something else because they don't want Stapleton being said because this guy doesn't deserve it.
Well, then let's call it what we've been calling it for a while, Gapleton, because he would have hated that.
He would have hated
Right.
it.
So let's call it Gapleton, and let's continue to meet jogging husbands under the bridge. The other thing is, if you look at DIA, that looks racist. A bunch of Klansmen hats just poking out of the fields.
Right, like good luck.
Right.
Yeah.
D.I. Gay and Gapleton.
Right.
Hold on.
Yeah, right. The late Benjamin Stapleton, is a longtime Denver mayor, member of the KKK. So,
And that's not OKKK with us.
Not OKKK. So Stapleton
He wrote
died.
a book, in fact. I'm OKKK, you're OKKK.
Can't we be KKK together?
Little John made the song OKKK.
Okay. And he was very mad about that.
Benjamin Stapleton died in 1950. That's a long time. Denver's mayor. He was Denver's mayor from 23 to 31, and then again from 1935 to 47. How do you get to be a mayor?
Twice.
8 years one time, and then 12 years the next time.
Maybe that's why they
You
changed
got
those
connections
laws.
in the KKK.
Yeah.
Activists are calling on city council members to vote on a name change to put an end to the negative emotional response that the name creates for some.
Okay, fine. We're going with Larryland. I'm a known person, and I hate the KKK.
You know how you just said just a second ago, Larry, that he was very influential in Denver, that he was, like a big resident, and other people were? Those other people would be, the guy who created the Denver Civic Center, acquisition of the Red Rocks Amphitheater, those were all, we had KKK associations.
So just, it was kind of like normalized back then. But yeah, that's when they had like, black people drink out of this fountain, and we drink out of that fountain.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous.
Right. So where was the meeting? How did I miss it?
I don't know, but no one that showed up was against changing the name.
Okay.
The meeting was Monday night at Stanley Marketplace. And
Okay,
they
which
do
is
have a
right-
big-ass area.
Right. It's just right down the street from me. I can't believe I wasn't invited. I probably was.
I was going to say, you probably don't check the mail
Right.
on your
There's probably like a little newsletter.
community board.
Right.
Yes.
Something like that.
So the airport that got built from 29 to 95, obviously he was the mayor through all of that. So that would explain why Stapleton Airport was named after him.
Right. And then the thing is, it's like, I wonder what the cost of renaming stuff like that, because it's probably like Stapleton Homes, Stapleton Cleaners,
Totally.
Stapleton this. So it's kind of like going to affect a ton of people's businesses and whatever.
Right.
But I mean, I guess nobody's really going to care. I mean, it's like.
I mean, I don't want to ever reward some horrible person like this, But again, if it could have been one of those things where you just were like, love the name Stapleton. It used to be the airport. Did you know that? And then someone says, I heard it was a KKK member. Really? Crazy. Like,
Well-
it could have just been that, like pushed under the rug.
I know, but like if you're going, how far back do you go? Because there's obviously some presidents who own slaves
Yes,
or whatever.
right.
So then it's like, do you not put them in the, it's the President's Day sale and like there's their image.
Yeah.
How far back do you go?
Exactly.
And it's like it's not like a lot of people are going around Stapleton going, we are here to make it very white. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Right. Except my neighbor.
Oh, yes.
No, I just happen
Just
to have
'cause
a
he's
German neighbor.
German.
Right. But I'm sure he's very okay with us being the gays. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he's okay with us being the gay, but not the black people down the street. No, I don't want to
Yeah, you
put
don't
that
know.
assertion
Right.
on him. But yeah, I mean, if they rename it, who cares? I mean, it's
Does it bother you?
no.
Things would have to change, and you'd have to say, oh, I live in, you know what, can't you just make it Northfield?
I don't know. Can't we just say that's something that we named after a guy and we found out later that he was? And so
Oops, our bad.
I guess, I don't know. I mean, it's just so hard to change history is what I'm saying.
Yeah, for real.
Right. And I have an airport paging phone from the old airport in my house that
Uh-huh.
says Stapleton. I would hate to have to tape that off.
Right, I totally agree.
And now,
I know you guys are gonna photograph me. I know it makes a cool photo. I got a cool ass car. I got a dope ass outfit on. It's all good.
Celebrity Trashing Bash.
With Larry, Kathy, and Wiggins.
sponsored by the Mike Sawyer Law Firm. Call 303 Good Law. Here's Kathie J.
Don't be afraid to catch Phil. We know a guy named Phil.
Yeah, we do. So Prince's secret toxicology confidential report has been released, and it shows that
Wait,
Prince had
princess or princes?
Prince.
It's very confusing. I was like, princess what? Oh, princess.
Princess Kate.
Right.
Right.
Prince.
Yes. The
The father,
toxicology report from Prince's death.
Yes. What
Yes.
was it? What did I die of?
Exceedingly high levels of fentanyl.
Yes. High levels because I wear high heels.
The report gave a glimpse into just how much fentanyl was flowing through his body when he died.
Well, I would fart fentanyl. There's some for you right there.
The concentration of fentanyl in his blood was 67 micrograms per liter. The report notes people have died with as little as 3 micrograms per liter, and he's at 67, and he's
So he really built up his tolerance to it.
totally.
And with those kind of drugs, you have to take more each time. So he was off the charts. Like if you would have if you would have pricked his finger and you'd have put it in your mouth, you'd have probably been high.
Right.
Did Michael Jackson die from that?
No, he was propofol.
Propofol. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes you dream.
So even though Prince was a chronic pain patient, the amount was exceedingly
That's what you get for
high.
wearing high heels, idiot.
I know, isn't that what it was?
Yeah.
It hurt his back and stuff, didn't
Right,
it?
and because he was not only wearing high heels, he was doing the splits.
Yeah.
Getting back
Backflips,
up.
right. Toxicology also reportedly shows that his liver had a concentration of 450 micrograms, while also noting that levels beyond 69 micrograms often signal overdose. So he's at 450, and you just have to be over 69. So that was a lot. Experts cited in the report say they were potentially lethal amounts of fentanyl in his stomach, and that he likely took the drug orally. So sad.
Him and Michael Jackson are up in heaven laughing at each other. He's all, you're stupid. You became a drug addict. He's all, it's better than being a chomo.
Well, actually, they were both. I mean, propofol, that's a drug addict.
Right, for sure.
I mean, they were both kind of drug addicts.
Right.
So many of our best artists were taken out by.
Drugs. And sometimes
Yeah.
it's by like you got hurt and you got surgery and then you took these pills and then it never stopped.
Totally.
That's how addictive those
Couldn't
pills
get
are.
off them.
Well, that's a lot of us that have family members that are
Right.
addicted. It's crap like that.
Yep.
Where it's like, oh, you didn't want to help them fix their back. You just passed on this pill, and now
Right, which
they're
you got a
selling their
kickback.
kids to keep it.
Right.
Yeah.
Overprescribed.
Totally. Cardi B believes it was somebody close to her on her team that revealed her pregnancy.
Yeah, it usually is.
Yep. She's having a lot of trust issues with the team, sources tell Page 6. Her pregnancy, the reveal of it was too close to home. She's 7 months pregnant with Offset's kid.
Oh, set.
due to give birth this summer. Source says she feels that the leaker must have been someone close in her team. Otherwise, there was no way that anyone could have had the information.
It was Offset.
Cardi B's going to soon reveal the news herself, everybody, to try to stay on top of her own news.
I hope the baby looks more like her reconstructed self than her original self.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple surgeries in line.
Yeah,
Like, how funny would it be? Because I was thinking the same thing about Kylie Jenner. I was like, it'd be so funny if the baby got her original thin lips.
I better. I'm praying it does. Just to be like, ha, ha.
Right.
Is Justin Bieber going to put out a Christian album?
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, he has all this dumb
He's been,
cross tattoos. It's like, why don't you just be a better person? You don't have to tattoo yourself hoping that it'll help.
right. Some people go real extreme, and because he was like Mr. Party Boy, sometimes they can suck you into a religion, being like, "Look what you're doing with your life, man.
Right.
You need Jesus, and Jesus would love for you to sing for him."
Sources say he's a devout Christian now, and so religious music might be playing a bigger role in his music.
Huh. Well, you're collaborating with a bunch of party pigs, so
Technically, nobody's saying it's going to be a full-on Christian album, but people say Justin's on the lookout for songs that really reflect where he is in his life with terms of spirituality.
Oh, okay. Everybody's allowed to go through their whatever
For sure,
phase.
right.
And it's like sometimes like it takes, sometimes it like you realize, what was I thinking? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like when Snoop did reggae.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Snoop Lion.
Right.
I would like to say, well, he's always nice when we meet him.
Yeah.
But when he came through with Snoop Lion, he was super duper loving and nice.
Yeah.
Everybody was
because he was really
everybody
having to
was a
promote
friend.
something terrible.
Speaking of music, DMX wants a judge to hear his before he gets sentenced for tax fraud.
Here is what?
Hear his music.
Oh, okay.
He wants to play a few rap songs for the judge.
He's all, well, I'm more of a country fan.
He said that he may be too emotional to speak at the March 29th sentencing. When is that? 2 days from now. Today's 27th?
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll be sentenced in 2 days for tax fraud. And we would like to play a few of his compositions so that the court may understand him genuinely and hear his voice.
We're hoping his hits have an influence over the judge.
Yeah. They're hoping to put Slippin'. And I'm slipping.
Right.
Fall.
I can't get up.
They're
Slippin'.
hoping to play that
Fall.
one. They're hoping to play Convo. They're not going to be.
All the bailiffs are all like, yeah, what? With their shoes above their head. Woo!
And probably you don't want to play Party Up.
No.
Right. So his
He's
lawyer.
all, this is a song called Jail Rape.
His lawyer is going to argue that his client DMX deserves leniency because of his tough upbringing and because DMX's ability to work is the only way the feds will get paid and his kids eat.
Well,
which we know he's got 20 kids.
He should have thought of that because he's also got a long rap sheet, and they
Yes.
take all that in consideration. They're like, "Oh, this is the 100th time we've seen you."
There is that.
Yeah.
Right. He faces restitution, $2.3 million, along with a maximum fine of $100,000.
Restitution, by the way, is what a prostitute does in between lays.
She rests.
I'm a restitute.
In a letter to the judge, DMX apologized for a separate travel violation, claiming it was his handler's fault. And he said that if he's given another opportunity, it will not happen again.
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Cool.
for
All right,
Benefit,
Brian.
Yeah, sure.
This is kind of crazy. Chris Pratt and Anna Faris, like they were one of my favorite Hollywood couples. It's
We were
sad that they broke
devastated,
up, yeah.
for sure.
But now Anna is going around going, what is the purpose of life and marriage?
Why, is she getting all deep with it?
Yeah, she's getting all deep. On Dax Shepard's podcast, she said, I am a romantic. I believe in partnership. I believe in companionship. I just don't know if I believe in a ceremony of a wedding necessarily. Then Anna Faris went on to say, I need to figure out what the purpose is. Like, is it safety for your kids? Is it convention? Is it so other people respect you more?
Oh, yeah, she was stoned. For sure.
She said, for me, it's just not quite I'm just not quite sure where it fits, especially when it feels so easy. Of course, to get married, and then there's the untangling in terms of in the state being involved.
Well, and then it's like, I think what I didn't want to think happened to them happened, which I think that he just went up a couple notches of stardom.
Okay.
And you know what? He became
Yes,
like this
he
big
got hot.
leading guy.
He got hot.
Right, and his career like became fire, and then so I think he was like, "Hey, I'm going to enjoy this." Where she's like, "I thought we were going to stay home and raise a kid."
Right.
Right, and he's all, "No, I just signed like an 8-picture deal."
Totally right.
Right.
I'm not wasting these muscles on you.
Right. She's like, "But I liked you when you were fat."
She did, and you
Right.
need to get credit for that.
Right, for
like
sure.
she was uber hot house bunny.
Right.
And you're Parks and Rec fat boy over here.
Right,
And,
and
then
then
you get hot and become Star Lord, and then you leave her. That's convenient.
I know, but the lesson there for everybody is get your fat ass off the couch. You'd look way better if you were 20 pounds lighter.
Blazing Hit Radio.
Now with more
us.
They're just really funny.
Better music,
less commercials.
more Larry and Kathie.
So tonight, a show is back. And we were excited that like Will and Grace came back. That was awesome.
Right.
And they didn't miss a beat. Like they came back with the same writer, same everything. That show was on point immediately.
Right. And it looks like this one isn't going to miss a beating.
Right, for sure. So Roseanne is coming back tonight. And
yeah.
it's really awesome because she was on Kimmel. Roseanne was with
John Goodman.
And, Kimmel's very anti-Trump, and they started going back and forth a little bit. And they were just talking about how on the show, that's how it's really going to be. And even Kimmel was like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because Roseanne is a Trump supporter. And so
is
that's
crazy.
That's going to come through on the show. And then a lot of people that she works with, like Sarah Gilbert, hate Trump.
Yes.
And so
she's a lesbian.
Right.
Yes.
There'll be like a real dynamic.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be reflective of kind of how a lot of families are right now.
Yeah, and Darlene's always been the outspoken child anyways.
Right.
And now that she's an adult,
Right. It'll be
she'll
crazy.
get it. Yeah.
It'll be really fun to watch. And it's just funny the things they've added that I've seen in the trailer. Like Roseanne has one of those things that takes her up the stairs.
Yeah, right.
And,
but she's still got her sweatshirt on. And,
right. And Dan sleeps with the CPAC machine.
Right.
Yeah.
And so tonight, if you don't know how Roseanne ended, what was it, 20 years ago or something? Dan died. Dan Connor, who
he
was
did?
dad. Yeah,
Oh.
John Goodman.
I didn't know that.
So tonight they're going to explain how a dead guy comes back.
Okay.
Like, did she have a dream?
Right.
That he had died? What was it about?
Right, because on some of the shows, like when they brought Will and Grace back, some people that were dead were alive.
Yeah.
And so they kind of, and then like I think that they even changed the fact that Grace was going to have a kid. Mm-hmm. Remember, like when it ended, I think Grace was going to have a kid, and everything
she was with like an actual relationship,
right.
wasn't
So
she?
something was different. So they're bringing it back. They can refigure it out.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly,
mean?
right.
So obviously they bring back Dan.
Right, and so that's why in the preview, when she yells at him in his sleep app machine,
So I thought you were dead.
He goes, "Why does everybody keep saying I'm dead?"
Right.
Well, it's a joke that
Oh,
he
that's
died.
funny.
But tonight it should happen. Did you watch it ever?
Yeah,
Colty?
yeah. My dad used to watch it when I was growing up.
Yeah, I didn't. I haven't watched it in a while, but just this past week they've been doing some reruns, so I caught some of them, and they have like there's still some great funny lines.
Oh, classic episodes
Yeah.
of that show, and then it kind of got weird toward the end when
they were in
won
a diner and Sandra Bernhardt was there.
Right, she owned a loose meat sandwich shop. But like toward the end, it started getting weird. Like they won the lottery
Right.
and stuff like that. So it kind of definitely when it went away, it was like kind of time. But yeah, those classic episodes definitely stand out, and it'll be really interesting to see if they, how they work all that in. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Yeah. So it starts tonight.
Right. And I have seen some things where, like, I've been looking at they've been posting for the cast.
Yeah.
And they did show pictures of David.
Yeah,
who's
he'll be there.
Okay, so he will be on there.
From the Big Bang Theory. Dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
so-
said he's supposed to be like all cast members came back.
Right.
That's how they answer it when they say, "Is he going to be on the show?"
Right.
And both Beckys are there.
Right, so they're going to just take turns.
I don't know how they're going to do it.
Right.
But it seems funny.
They should have put them in an apartment together as lesbians. Becky and Becky.
What was the story with why the first Becky was replaced? Do you remember?
I don't think
Did she
they
have drugs or something?
No. I just think that girl like just had a falling out with acting or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that they brought in that other Becky and didn't miss a beat, but like
Yeah, that other Becky, she went on to do Scrubs.
right.
And I thought she was great in both of them.
Right, she seemed like a more cheerful Becky.
True. And I
Right.
think they'd even make comments like that,
Right,
didn't they?
I don't remember.
Isn't Becky a lot
Right.
nicer? So Tom Arnold, who is Roseanne's ex-husband,
Mm-hmm.
he is chiming in on the reviews for the new Roseanne.
Is he in it?
No.
Okay.
Although he was in it
He
for
was
a while.
Right. He was Sandra Bernhardt's boyfriend.
Yeah, so they asked him to review the season premiere, which we will all see tonight, and he was surprisingly not evil about it. In fact, Tom Arnold said he kind of liked it. He said, quote, Roseanne has done everything from pulling my hair transplants immediately after surgery, to saying I had a 3-inch penis on Saturday Night Live. So I figure if I can give the show another shot, maybe other people can too.
That's funny.
One of his favorite things about the new show, Lori Metcalf.
Oh,
we
cool.
do love her.
Yeah.
Sheldon's mom.
Yeah.
Yes. She's Roseanne's sister, Jackie. She also was just up for an Oscar for this year's Lady Bird. He says Lori Metcalf is a tour de force. She could carry the show. She could carry every show ever. Tom isn't really a fan of Roseanne's character being a Trump supporter, but he kind of understands it. Quote, Roseanne Barr knew Donald Trump personally for 30 years and saw how he treated women. She even did business with him. That's that.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by anything Trump does, but Roseanne Barr made $200 million off of Roseanne Connor, so I'm a little disappointed that she doesn't have her back more than Trump's. That's hilarious.
Crazy.
So he still got to dig in. So he said watch it, but then he still did the to her personally.
Little jab.
Right.
I'll definitely be watching.
Damn, she made $200 million.
I know,
that?
right? And all the other cast members were like, say what?
What?
Yeah.
Say right.
Blazing Hit Radio.
I love that morning show.
Now with more Us.
They wake me up.
Better music, less commercials, more Larry and Kathie.
In the morning, in the shower.
Okay, we couldn't play one of the better highlights from the Stormy Daniels 60 Minutes interview where she talks about the fact that she got to spank Trump. You know, that's pretty juicy.
Yeah, it is.
And this is her. This is from TMZ and her explaining that moment when he first met her. They met on the golf course, and then he's like, come up to my room.
Okay.
And then so he was trying to impress her because he was on a magazine.
Yeah.
And she was kind of like rolling her eyes about it.
It started off all about him, just talking about himself. And he's like, have you seen my new magazine?
He was showing you his own picture on the cover of the magazine.
Right. And so I was like, does this normally work for you? And he looked very taken back, like he didn't really understand what I was saying. Like, does just talking about yourself normally work? And I was like, someone should take that magazine and spank you with it. And I'll never forget the look on his face. And he was like,
what was the look?
Just, I don't think anyone's ever spoken to him like that, especially a young woman who looked like me. And I said, give me that. And I just remember going, you wouldn't. I was like, hand it over. And so he did, and I was like, turn around, drop him.
You told Donald Trump to turn around and take off his pants?
Yes.
And did he?
Yes. So he turned around and pulled his pants down a little, and he had underwear on and stuff, and I just gave him a couple swats. And from that moment on, he was a completely different person.
How so?
He quit talking about himself, and he asked me things, and I asked him things, and it just became like, a more appropriate.
So, in other words, I think people are surprised by the reaction because most girls would react like, oh, Mr. Trump, I'm ready. And she was like, going to take charge because she probably knew most women would cower or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact that probably turned him on that there was an assertive woman. But the fact that he was like, you remind me of my daughter Ivanka, that's going to make Ivanka throw up a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder one of these days, maybe once he passes, she'll
spill the tea.
Yeah, how it made her feel when he compared sexually to women to his daughter.
What's funny is, even with this stuff coming out, and to me, it's like this isn't like if they catch him on a technicality of giving money to somebody out of campaign funds, then he could be in trouble.
Right.
But I think everybody already knows how he is with women.
Yes.
And especially people that voted for him, they could care less.
Care less.
Yeah. So it's I just think it's funny regardless. The
People
fact
don't
that
even care the backbone of our democracy is being questioned because of the Russia stuff.
Oh, no, for sure.
They don't understand how important that is
exactly
to how our country was founded.
And what I think that's because people either forgot or didn't pay attention in school or it wasn't given enough emphasis.
Yeah.
I think the society took for granted that people are always going to know that communism is bad and it's the opposite of freedom.
Yeah, right.
So I think people took it for granted and then got so soft on it that people are like, maybe we should be friends with Putin. He seems awesome.
Right. But it's also about we are over here being together with Americans, trying to build us strong. We don't allow this country to, corrupt us or to come in and make decisions for us. It's not who we are.
Right, for sure. And it's like the fact that, nobody's, I mean, there are a lot of people waving a flag, going, oh my God, this is crazy. But like for the most part, I think regular people are just like, huh, what happened?
That's how they are about everything. Just move through the day.
Oh, Russians, they hacked us, whatever.
So this Stormy Daniels interview, it brought 60 Minutes its biggest audience in 10 years.
Wow.
And it beat President Trump's first interview that he did after he won the election.
On 60 Minutes. Yeah, that's crazy. 20 million people tuned in after he won the election. 22 million people tuned in to hear about him being spanked with a magazine. Well, they're also saying that there's a reason he's not clapping back on Twitter like he normally would, and it's because for legal reasons.
Yeah.
So they're saying that all these other women that are coming out now could possibly have legit cases against him that he would have to be forced to be a part of. Like, in other words, like Stormy Daniels' case, he'd be forced to testify.
Right.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. You cheated. Like, our president used to be held to a different standard. But then, now you can be divorced. You can have this and that and come on in and whatever. So
Right. And, some of his voters are like, you get her, Trump, man. She's hot. Hell yeah.
Right.
Have a hot wife like that. Have your mistress like that. Hit the daughter, too.
Exactly.
And what's really sad is,
What?
There's a very slim segment of the population who are gross dad kind of guys who look at him and go, well, if Trump's doing it,
Totally. It's disgusting. I know. That's our leader. But yeah.
Yeah, that's why marijuana's legal, everybody. Enjoy.
Blazing Hit Radio.
Better music,
Less commercials.
more Larry and Kathie.
With all the bad news that's floating around about this, that, the other, it's like North Korea this, the president getting spanked that. We could use some good news.
Good, because I have good news. Excuse me. I'm tired. Excuse me.
It's all right. You're allowed to be tired. You have 2 kids.
Right, and you have a dog that's needing to go pee every 5 minutes.
Right. He's got to be on this medication. I haven't got good sleep. We're all on the edge, people. We need some good news.
Right. Bolty's a bartender by trade now.
Yeah, but that's, at Boys Town on Friday nights.
So he makes good money.
Right.
I mean, with those eyes, come on.
Meet
now.
producer Bolte at Boys Town this Friday night.
The one with the purple door.
Hey.
All right, so here I do have some good news. Okay, 2 really good stories. Both of them involve being swept away in the river.
Okay, that doesn't sound good.
But it ended well.
Okay, that'd be the only way that would end well is like, then I went to stab her and he fell in the lake and in the river and it took him away.
That would be cool.
Or a chocolate river.
Augustus. Save some for later.
Yeah, totally. That would be awesome. Okay, so this first story is a guy's SUV flipped and got swept away in a flood and a random stranger saved him.
Okay.
Okay, so it's Santa Clarita. I gotta watch that new movie, The Santa Clarita Diet.
Yeah, it's a
with
show.
Drew Barrymore. Have you watched it?
Yeah. It's I watched the first season. It's funny. I mean,
She's a zombie, and the more humans she eats, the younger she looks.
Well, no, it's more of a like she has to eat people to stay alive, and so it's like the whole thing is her trying to be a mom and fit in and not be the person that kills people.
Yeah,
and so she always has to apologize to her family. She's like, "I'm so sorry,
I killed somebody.
Yeah, I ate him.
Oh,
whatever. It's pretty funny."
So, Santa Clarita got a lot of rain last week. Flash flooding happened, right? Margarito Martinez got caught in it.
He's very salty.
Yeah, totally. He saw some water on the road, didn't realize how deep it was. SUV got pushed off the road, then it rolled several times, and he was still inside it and ended up on its roof.
I saw that.
He was upside down in about 2 to 3 feet of water, couldn't get out, but luckily a random guy was nearby and saw
broke
it all
the
happen.
window. I saw that.
The guy wants to remain anonymous, the guy you saw. We don't know his name. There's video of him climbing to the top of the SUV, using a rock to smash one of the windows and then pulling him out.
Right, it's crazy. And it's like, it seems perilous because even though he gets him out, it looks like that SUV could go any minute.
Yeah.
Like it could just go from right underneath their feet.
The guy's niece was in there too.
Oh, he saw, damn it, my niece. And they were already like 3 blocks away.
The water was moving really fast, so if he'd fallen in, he would have been swept away. Luckily, both of them made it out. Margarito's boss felt so bad for him, he allegedly bought him another SUV. Damn. What does that guy do in the first place?
I'm going to go work for that guy's boss.
Yeah, me too. And this is a great story.
He's all, my boss is a drug dealer.
Oh, yeah.
That's
You
why he
don't
bought
want
me
to
a
work
car,
for
right?
him.
Yes. He will kill you if you don't make your bring the drugs.
Right. Yeah, your car
Right.
has
A bunch of drugs in it. He's all, he had to buy me a car.
Yes.
Right.
And now you have
I'm
to
the
take
mule.
it to Mexico. A random dog jumped into a river and saved a guy from drowning.
Whoa.
So cool. Okay, so 3 guys near Hilton Head, South Carolina. They took a small boat out on a river last Wednesday and it capsized in the wind.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay.
What, do you not know how to swim? No, I'm kidding.
There are some people that don't know how.
I
not
know.
very
So
good.
why are you out there in the water, especially when it's windy and
Right,
it's
for
cold?
sure.
But whatever. The water was very cold and hypothermia started to set in.
Oh,
2
no.
of the dudes made it back to shore, but Mason's 24 years old and he just couldn't get past the current.
He's all, my testicles are in my stomach now.
He tried swimming for a while, couldn't beat the current, got exhausted, and that's when he felt his feet cramp up, so all he could do was
float away.
So luckily, though, all of a sudden, people saw a random dog jumping into the river. The guy, as he was floating down the river, was yelling for help. A 7-year-old lab named Woody
Shut up.
jumped in the water and swam straight to him, screaming for help.
He's all, get out of here, you pansy. He's all, I can swim through this current.
Yeah,
Get over here.
Mason grabbed the dog's tail, and the dog actually started to pull Mason back in, out of the current.
Whoa, that's so awesome.
The dude lost his grip. Woody, the dog, turned back around, swam back to the dude, let him grab onto his collar this time, and pulled him the rest of the way.
Oh, my God.
Police think that Mason definitely would have drowned if the dog hadn't saved him. The dog wasn't trained for any of this. It was just his instinct, but the dog is a pretty cool dog.
So who owns the dog?
A pretty cool guy. A guy owns the dog, and Mason the dog also climbs trees. Mason the dog also sits when he hears a C strummed on a ukulele.
Oh, yes. You're all, he fixes boats.
Yeah, right.
He's the mechanic.
So the owners train him to do crazy things, but they've never trained him to do a rescue in the river.
Yeah. He makes craft beer.
Mason and his friends are all fine, and Mason told a local reporter that dog is getting a big old steak.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, that's really cool.
I would
Wow.
have to form a relationship with that family and that dog. Like, I got to see this dog.
Yeah,
every
like,
so often because
totally.
he saved my life.
That's pretty awesome. Just remember, love your dog, give your dog more respect.
That's why you get a dog, people, not a cat. I kid. I love cats.
No, you're not kidding.